The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
The Brisker Rav once said that he married one of the wealthiest girls in Warsaw. He married a girl from Warsaw whose father was like a gazillionaire. And for his dowry, when he married his wife, so as a present, his shver gave him an entire block in Warsaw. Warsaw is basically the most metropolitan area of Eastern Europe at the time. So imagine if your shver for a chasna present gave you a nice street in Manhattan, 57th and Madison, for a chasna present, Mazel Tov. You'd feel pretty good, right? You have the most expensive piece of real estate in Manhattan. You're set. You don't have to worry about parnas the rest of your life, the rest of your children's life, the rest of your... That's pretty much what the Brisker Rav had at the time. But he found that because he had all this wealth and all these properties to manage, he felt it was taking him away from his learning, it was staring his ability to concentrate on learning. So what he did was he hired an agent to look into selling all that property. And he sort of gave over to this agent who, I don't know how well he knew him, but he was a real estate agent, a Jew, whatever, and he signed him over like a power of attorney. You just take care of it, sell it, and let me know when it's over. Within that, a short amount of time, I think World War I broke out, and everybody, the whole world was turned over, and the Brisker Rav didn't know what happened, to this broker. He didn't know what happened to it, but he came back and he did some research, found that this broker had died, but before he had died, he had somehow transferred ownership from the Brisker Rav to himself. Basically, he took all the Brisker Rav's money. So Brisker Rav went from being one of the wealthiest Jews in the world to being poverty-stricken. He had nothing. That was all he had. And he was starting to get very agitated, as you can imagine. You think that you're worth, $50 million, $100 million you haven't made, you could learn the rest of your life, and all of a sudden you realize you have nothing. That's a pretty heavy blow. So what did the Brisker Rav do? He said, I started learning Shara Bitachon Chavis Hababas. He said, that's all I had. I had nothing else. I had Shara Bitachon Chavis Hababas. And I said, I would chazer it, and I chazer it, and I chazer it. And it made me so happy. He says, and I realized that there's no one happier in the world. I used to think that having a block in Warsaw was a secret to happiness. And I realized that the only secret to happiness is having emunah and bitachon. If you know the Shara Bitachon, that's much more valuable than owning a square block of Manhattan.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org